Grab a notepad if you don't already have one. Of course, this is being recorded, so you can always go back and get it afterward. But going to be going through some details of some new disclosure things that we want you to know about. Okay. Um, David Rutz here, David Allen Capital. Wade's asked me to cover today. And I would have wanted to be on anyway for this announcement. So we've got some neat things happening in the industry, which is always good. I like when things happen in the industry in a positive way. In some registrations or some legal requirements are actually positive because they help keep the industry clean. They take away all the things we talk about in our industry, the telemarketers who lie, the people who do sell leads out the back door, take packages and sell them to other places. We've had to work through a lot of different things with our past providers to find providers you can believe in and trust and know that your information is sacred. You don't have to worry about being stolen. But each state is going through regulatory things, looking at what they can do to improve this industry. And every once in a while, there's a new announcement made, and that means we need to adjust, right? Or make sure our lenders have adjusted. So this is the first one that's really affected you guys. So it's a window of opportunity here. But this is the first one that's really affected what you guys will have to do in the future. Nothing in the immediate, nothing in the short term, but in the next 15 months, you're going to have to do something yourselves. And we're going to take the lead in helping you do that. It may even become part of our certification program. So we're working through this. But what I'm talking about is a Texas Act. It's called the Texas Commercial Financing Disclosure and Registration Law. So the Texas Commercial Financing Disclosure and Registration Law. Okay. I'm going to go through a screen share here, and that'll go through the information. I've got it's a window of opportunity for us. And I'm actually glad I'm always glad that when things like this happen. I'm hoping at some point, the whole industry will require a license. That's what I'm hoping for. Right now, it doesn't, but I'm okay if it does, right? And think we all would probably be okay if it required that. It would help clean the industry up to a higher level, which we're trying to do with our certification. So let me share my screen and okay, get my desktop right there. Okay, do you see that? Texas Commercial Financing Disclosure and Registration Law. Y'all see that?
We do, yep.
Thank you, McGuire. Appreciate it. All right, so I got some notes here. What does it mean? Number one, oh, I was on the last slide. Zoom, you're my friend, but you're not my friend when you cover my mouse. Okay. Can't find the mouse sometimes. Texas Commercial Financing Disclosure. Here's the industry update. Number one, there's an impact immediately starting in September. It's a disclosure act. So many states have disclosure acts that require how we present the loan to your client. And they all are pretty much making sure that lenders all disclose it the way we do. What's your cost? And tell them their cost. Don't hide it. Don't mask it. Just tell them what it's going to cost in cash. You get 100 grand, you got to pay back 140. It's costing you $40,000. They want that simple to understand from people. So as of September.
Oh, you were muted just
Okay.
for a moment there.
Thank you. There's a new disclosure requirement as of September 1st, which means the lenders have to disclose the funding offer a certain way. Now, this is kind of in line with a lot of the other states that require this. So we're already doing this. All of our lenders are already doing this. It will not affect them at all. And of course, this doesn't affect you at all either. Okay. However, this is the big change that becomes a window of opportunity for you. You'll see in a minute. Starting September 1st, in Texas only, a client cannot get funding unless they are the first UCC lien only. What does that mean? Well, it means that a lender will not be able to auto deduct or automatically debit a recipient's payment from their bank account unless they are the provider that holds the first security interest, meaning they're the only one with a lien on that company. You don't have to worry about this as a broker. I know it says broker, but they're talking about a lender in this case. They're just called provider or broker. Okay. So brokers don't deduct. Obviously, we don't deduct the payment from them. The lender does for us. But so in this case, you will not be able to get a second position. Some people look at it like a mortgage. If you have a mortgage on your home and you've paid off a bunch of it, you can go get a second mortgage and they take a second interest in your property. And if you don't pay the payment, they pay the first bank first, and then the second bank gets paid if there's any money left, right? It's a second position. Well, every state allows a second position right now for funding in our space. But going forward, Texas is not allowing businesses to take second positions. So if they've already got a UCC lien, they've already taken a loan from someone else, and they come to us and we can get them an extra 30,000 or 40,000. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to because they've already got a lien unless we pay that lien off. I'll go through this in a minute. The second thing you want to know about this act is a December 31st impact to you of next year, not this year. This is where you're impacted as far as something you're going to have to do. By December 31st of 2026, 15 months from now, you're going to have to register with the OCCC, Department of Texas. You can't yet. So don't go looking for it. Don't try to do it yet. Otherwise, we'd already be telling you how to do it. You can't register yet, but by December 31st of 2026, you are going to have to register if you want to get customers in the state of Texas. Okay? It's only in Texas, but I'm hoping every state requires this and it becomes a registration requirement for all of us in the future. But for right now, this is what the act's saying. Number one, costs have to be disclosed a certain way. Number two, you can only have a first UCC lien, cannot auto deduct payment from anyone who's already got a lien unless you pay that lien off, or and a registration of each agent by December of next year, not this year, next year. Okay, so here's our strategy going forward. There's a window of opportunity in the next 3 weeks. And that is to approach all businesses. They have the opportunity only for the remainder of August to get funding, even if they already have a UCC 1 lien. But after 9/1, they can't. So anyone you know in Texas, it's a good time. You have a reason to reach out to let them know. If you've been thinking about any funding needs, at all, and you've been thinking, yeah, I'm thinking about getting money, but there's no urgency, and you've already got a lien, a UCC lien, which is anytime you borrow money as a business owner, they usually put a UCC lien on. It doesn't even have to be borrowed money. It could be you hired a software company to build your software for you, and they did it on terms. And you've agreed to pay them $50,000 for this software, but you're going to pay them over the next 12 months. And they go, okay, but we're going to put a lien, a UCC lien on you, David, until you pay us back. Because you don't have collateral to put up. So we put a UCC lien. It's just a uniform consumer, I don't know. It's something that they put on the person. I don't know what it stands for, but it's basically a lien against me that if that doesn't get paid back, I owe it back. And basically it's lien on all my assets. It's everything I have. So I have to pay it back. And it's public. Everybody knows about it. So if if you want to loan money to David Rutz, you can do a UCC lien search on me to find out if I already owe someone money, if my business already owes someone money. So it's a protection mechanism for lenders or soft service providers. If you want to build a huge patio on a restaurant, they may go, okay, we'll do the patio and we're going to bill you on terms. You're going to pay us over time, and they self-fund it. They can put a UCC 1 lien on you. So it's not just lenders. In our space, it could be a roofing service provider. It can be a software builder. It can be a ITT company. It can be a telecom. It could be a payment processing company. And they're going to give you all your payment processing equipment. And it's $30,000 worth of equipment. They'll say, we'll give it to you as long as you do our processing with us. But we're going to put a UCC lien on you until you've paid us back, $30,000 over future on your payment processing. So there's many reasons businesses get UCC liens. It's not just for our space. So you have an opportunity right now. Anyone you know in business, it's time to reach out to them if they're in Texas, to let them know, hey, if you've thought about anything with Monday, as of September 1st, you cannot take additional money in the state of Texas if you already have a lien. It's not just us. You can't do it. Okay. So if they're going to auto deduct the payment or take a percentage of the sales out of their bank account. So you can't take it out of their bank account. Can't automatically deduct it from the bank account. That's what you're not going to be able to do. Okay. So it is now time to reach out to them as their trusted expert, educating them, letting them know if they have any thoughts of funding. Many of them are used to getting second and third positions. They've been doing it for years. They think they'll always be able to do that. That opportunity is being pulled away. Anyone who's relied on second positions and third positions in the past is, oh, I can get another 20 grand. Always can. I can get another 20 grand. I can get another 40 grand. They're not going to be able to do that as of September 1. There's no way around that. Okay. So it's a window of opportunity right now before 9/1 to go approach them, Texas clients. Okay. Their options are limited thereafter. Now, after 9/1, what happens? Well, after 9/1, we have a couple things. Number one, we can still originate new clients in Texas if they don't already have a UCC lien. There's no way we're really going to know that. They're just going to have to apply, and we may say, sorry, you've been declined because you have a UCC lien. All right. And or sometimes we'll look at it and we can buy their current loan out and refinance it, and we become the first lien position. So let me give an example. Let's say someone's already got a loan with on-deck lending, and they didn't get it through you or us. And you get them to apply, and we go look at, and they owe 30,000 on deck. And we get them, a lender goes, we'd give them 200 grand, but we can't because they're in Texas and they've got a first position. So we'll have to pay off the on deck loan first, and then we can do a lien. Well, that's going to create some complexities, right? Because you got to pay off that loan, then the lien's got to be removed, right? The lien doesn't get removed until it's paid off. It's like, when does the title on a car become yours? After it's paid off, and it's not instantaneous. So there's going to be this whole after 9/1, we can buy out their current loan. You can, but there's going to be some stickiness potentially with that because it's not instantaneous. You're not calling them and say, hey, remove that lien, we're paying you off. They're a competitor. They may go, oh, wait a minute, we'll just offer them more money ourselves. So it's going to get a little hairy in Texas if you're not the originating client. So the good news is if you get a client, it's going to be easy to keep them renewing. The bad news is if they already have funding with someone else, it's going to be harder to move them over. Okay. So now is a window of opportunity to get after it. Talk to anyone before 9/1, try to get them into your own collection of clients now. And then after 9/1, we can still originate all new clients. We'll still have best offer guarantee and all that, and we will win some business over. I will say some of our lenders are also looking at other things because this only affects auto deduction of bank accounts. So what if there's another way to get paid? What if there's there's entrepreneurs will get creative. I started creating ideas in my mind immediately what I could do in Texas to not have to be to still get repaid, but not have to be, stuck in this rule, right? So I'm glad they're doing it. It is going to restrict some businesses, unfortunately. So registration preparation will take the lead as information becomes available to help you know what you got to do to go register. For right now, you don't need to invest any time going to search it up, anything like that. We will have a registration tutorial once it becomes available, but right now you can't go register with them. Okay, so we'll take the lead on that. Our providers are also looking at additional ways to help fund these clients going forward, as so are we. So that's the Texas Commercial Financing Disclosure and Registration Law going effective September 1, 3 weeks from now. It's going live. The registration requirement is not until December of next year. So you've got all the way to the end of 26 to register with the state of Texas, and you can't yet. So don't worry about that. You don't need to act on that at all right now, but you do want to act on the short window of opportunity, especially if you live in Texas. All the business owners down there, you've got a window of opportunity right now. You want to reach out. If you live in that area, get after it. Okay, let's go to your questions. Any questions from anybody at all on this? Anyone need clarification?
We have a few questions in the chat, one being if this would affect lines of credit in Texas.
It will affect anything that has an automatic repayment. So it's affecting any type of automatic repayment or automatic ACH deduction from their deposit account. So yes, because that is an automatic payment.
And we have Amoni with her hand up. You can go ahead and unmute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so David, what I want to know is, just out of curiosity, how do we, or would we be taking a risk as a company paying off another person's first? Meaning, if we decide, okay, we can give you the 200,000 like you were saying, and we're paying that off, what keeps us safe from the person now having a paid off loan and then deciding they don't want to take the one that we have? Do we have them in contract already?
Yeah, so that's where when I say this is going to get a little sticky because each lender is going to handle it different. Some will say we're not paying it
Right.
off, so we won't know that until and it's going to work its way out because I'm telling you, I would not give anyone any money in advance and tell them to go pay off a lien.
Mhm.
You won't be able to get paid back until that lien's paid off. So I don't know how, and I've been debating this with some lenders. I don't see that anyone's going to buy off a first position because you can't get the UCC lien removed until it's been paid in full, and the lender tells them it's been paid in full.
Right.
They're not going to be in any rush to do it because they're losing
Okay.
a customer. So I don't know that how easy it's going to be. I'm just saying that legally we could. Whether that'll become something in practice remains to be seen.
Okay. I was just curious about that
Yeah.
because, first of mine, I always think about, the safety of our company.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
you know how people
Yeah.
are with fraud, they'll think any way around that whole thing. And if we're paying it off and we can't get it clear right away, then they have a paid off loan and we can't get our doc signed.
You got it. So it would be a situation where you and I are on the same page. I don't see how we're going to be able to refinance second positions, but they say they will be able to. So maybe there's some way that because they know the lien will be removed, maybe they get a lien signed in advance. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but that the good news is the lenders will worry about that. The bad news is, or the good news is you have till September 1st where it's not an issue. After that, new clients will be the ones we're looking for. And then once you have them, it's easier to keep them. But it's going to be more competitive in Texas because of this rule, unless we have an additional way of getting repaid, which is what they're all looking to do. Okay, let's go to Bill Shaw. Bill, what do you got?
How you doing, David?
Good, Bill. How can I help
Good.
you?
Yeah, I'm assuming that they'll probably do it similar to the way they do a mortgage when you sell a house or you refinance a mortgage. They'll have a third party company that will pay off the first UCC, like a title company, and you just get a
It,
second mortgage, so like you would on any other thing.
it
It'd
remains
probably
to be
involve a
seen, right?
third. I'm sorry.
It remains to be seen. We'll see how it goes,
Yeah.
and we're the whole thing is I don't want anyone to start creating strategy based on assumption because the lenders are still figuring out what they're going to do. The bottom line is what we want to focus on is what we can control. We can control the next 30 days or 21 days. We can get people second positions. After that, we cannot. And unless lenders come up with a creative way to do it, it'll be new originations only in Texas unless there's a way to buy out a first position. But I would expect that's going to be muddy and it's going to make it, more difficult to get a second position. We want to have the first positions. And that'll be our focus. Yep.
Yep. Thank you.
Go. Thank you, Bill. And we got David Osborne and then Norma. Go ahead, David.
Yes, David. Yeah. And going on this point about first position and second position, what if there's a scenario where that first position lien holder, UCC lien holder, decides I'll settle it for less than the full lien value so that once that's bought off, so that the first position is clear, the second could come in. Obviously, it's up to the lenders as to whether or not they want to settle that first lien, but could that be done, especially if the settlement amount is
Yeah, let me just get to it because we see it today. The answer is they never do. Why? Because they can refund. Think about this. You're lender A, you've got a lien on someone for 100 grand. I'm lender B. I'm trying to get your client more money. You're going, why would you go to lender B? Just come to me. I'm a lender. You need more money? I'll give you more money. So they don't settle to repay. In fact, what they say is, oh, you're trying to get more money? I'll take care of you. We have today so in theory, could it happen? Sure, but it doesn't. Guys, if I have a lien, if you're one of my clients and you've paid me on time and you owe me 30 grand still, and I'm the lender, and you owe me 30, and I get a request from a competitive lender saying you're trying to get 20 grand more, and they're willing to give 50 to pay off the 30 you owe me, and they're going to give you 20 grand more, and I go, hey, they've paid me on time every month. I say, hey, customer, rather than going through that hassle of paying this one off and paying that one off, I'll give you an additional 20 and you can have it in 2 hours and you don't have anything to worry about. Okay. And I'll match their terms or beat them. So it's in theory, you can pay off a first position. Of course. In practice, it's going to be very difficult to get someone additional money in our space. Now, the good news is if you can originate the client, it's going to be very difficult for someone to leave you and go somewhere else because they're going to have to pay off your lender's lien and they can offer more money. So it's going to be the renewal process will get easier in Texas, and it'll also be harder to get a customer to leave a current competitor in Texas. So that's where we're going. And unless there's an alternative way, as I've mentioned a couple times, I've tipped a couple secrets. Unless there's an alternative ways to get repaid, then you're not according to this act. And there's some different companies looking at alternative ways of getting paid so that they can not worry about the second and third position. Norma, how you doing?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for all the updates. These are very important, and it's also very important that we are speaking to the business owners and sharing accurate information. So I am curious. I did look this up while you were speaking, and I did see a couple of Senate bills. And I'm just curious to know if you happen to know. I don't expect to know off the top of your head, but at some point, if we could find out which Senate bill this falls under, if it does fall under a Senate bill, I would love to be able to present the business owners with that information because I actually do have some business owners that I've worked with in the state of Texas that will have those UCC one. And that's pretty much it. I was also gonna add, the whole like UCC termination on the gentleman that just spoke on that, and I was actually gonna speak on that as well, but it would just be pure assumption of how they're gonna treat it. And right now, we really do just need to wait on how these lenders are gonna treat it because ultimately they're the ones that are, like in the regulations and the guidelines. So I'll just wait on that. I recently did, I'll let you know that I recently did deal with a client who had a UCC one, and we dealt with a termination, but it was not on a business. And so that would be treated a little different. But in that case, just so you guys know, this is not for a business. In that case, because it was on the borrower's property, the debt collector was able to negotiate, but this is not for a business, and I want to emphasize that.
Yeah,
So
let's
if you
keep
guys
it.
do,
Yeah,
sorry. Okay, thank
and
you.
I appreciate it. What I don't want people to worry about is there's a zillion scenarios today in funding already, and if we tried to give you every possible scenario,
Yeah,
it becomes very confusing, and then nobody gets clients. It's not going
right.
to affect. Here's the bottom line: you get some people who get turned down today because of fraud. And we don't teach on fraud. We don't teach all the different fraudulent activities that exist and how we can get people funded who've got fraud and don't have fraud. And, we just say, sorry, you're declined for fraud. Credit. Some people have, they got credit repair companies fixing their credit and they get an 800 score and they still get declined. They're like, I get an 800 score. It's a scam score. They have
Yeah.
other ways of determining your score. So we just teach this is the minimum requirements. So let's keep it all simple, guys. And I appreciate you shared some real good information there. What the long and short of it is, you've got 3 weeks where this act is not in place. After that, first positions only in Texas. So window of opportunity, get after it for right now. After that, first positions only in Texas. There will be potential other ways, but for now, just assume we got to be the first mortgage. We got to be the first loan. That's all. And if they've already got one, then it's going to be more difficult to get them as a customer. That's it already is more difficult because they've already got money going out, so they can't get approved for much. Even if they do get approved, it's a lot less. So it's a window of opportunity for the next 3 weeks where this restriction doesn't exist. After that, the restriction exists. So that's it is what it is, and it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it's going to benefit you because you've already got the clients and you don't have to worry about losing anyone, or it's harder to lose them. In other areas, it's going to be harder because they've already signed with someone else, and it's going to be harder to get them. So be the originator, and it's in your advantage, right? So that's what we want to do. All right, guys, gals, that the whole idea of this is take the next 21 days, get after them, and show that their opportunities are more unlimited now, become more limited after September 1. All right. All right. No other questions, no other comments from anyone. We'll end it. I'm waiting. Is there anything else? Support team?
We do have, well, two quick things. We have one more hand raised. He was trying to raise his hand, so I wanted to make sure we called on him, Scott.
Okay.
But we do have a question. If you know if there's a cost to the registration due December 2026.
They haven't disclosed that, but I would imagine there's always got to be a cost. So I don't know what that is, and we'll look into that. We're getting some legal counsel on how to best do this. I'd love it to be part of the certification, but I can't say that we can because the state may not allow that. But we're working on it. We've got some time, and as soon as we know, we'll let you know.
Sure. Okay, awesome. Scott, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. I sent that request over.
Hey,
Hey,
David.
Scott.
Hey, man. You're 100% right. I mean, I think this is an opportunity, and I mean, your mind is like, I kind of think a little bit like that because I'm like right away when you announced that, like the first 30 seconds, I had like a couple ideas. It's like, how do you approach this? But I definitely, if I could say one thing, I think that this is an opportunity in that it gives us a chance to somehow be an authority in the space. Because like you said, there's a lot of bad companies out there, bad information, people that, do what they do. But
Right.
that's just simply not us. So I can appreciate that. But I think the bottom line right now is to run your double ass off in Texas for 3 weeks and not worry about all the technical jargon and what ifs and, just go for it now. That's the only thing I really heard. And I think that's the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Amen. Amen.
That's
We
all
are
I
the
got.
authorities, like you said, as that bullet point said. This is a chance. You have a reason to reach out because you're the expert, and you can inform them of this act and that their opportunities are limited. Wade's jumped on. Thank you for sharing that, by the way, Scott. Wade, glad you're able to join us, my friend. You wanted to make a comment. I'm not sure if you heard.
And yeah, hello, Scott. Scott's amazing. I'm excited about Scott. He and I have been working together now. We talk a lot. He's going to do great things. Anyway, I wasn't on this whole time, as you know, but only comment I'm going to make is, since I'm not going to be repetitive, is that our lender base is excited about this change. Our lender base is excited. They want disclosure laws all over the United States because they're doing things properly. It's going to give if you're with DHC, you're going to have a leg up because of what our lender base has planned. That's all I'll say.
All right. Love it. Thank you, Wade. All right, folks, that'll be it today then. And if you got on late, go back and watch. It doesn't affect what you have to do legally until the end of next year, but it does affect